How do you keep your job, sustain your freelance career, or grow your business when every few months AI is turning the world upside down? If you've asked yourself these questions, you're not alone. The AI revolution is scary, and we are all worried about our careers and what the world will look like in the future. But in this video, I'm going to talk about what you can do to make sure that you not only survive but thrive in the next 10 years. And no, if you're thinking what I think you're thinking, it's not only about picking up one skill after another. Today, I'm going to talk about 5 key mindset shifts that you need to hammer into your head to future-proof yourself against any and all threats from AI. We're going to cover everything in this video, starting from the kind of mindset you need to adopt, 2 practical skills that you should pick up, and everything in between. If you get this right and are able to properly synthesize what I'm going to talk right now, you will be unstoppable. And as a bonus, by the end of this video, I'll be giving away my free cheat sheet that you can use to find out your zone of genius and shine the way only you are capable of. This is for people who want to go all the way and make the best of this video. So be sure to watch till the very end because what you're about to learn will change the course of your life. Before I get to the points, a huge shout out to Aristocrat Studio for sponsoring this video and my team for helping me produce the content in a much more stylish and visually impressive way, you can say it. If you want to support me, go check them out. Okay, so moving on. The first step is all about mindset because everything begins here. You know how in Shaolin Kung Fu movies there's this common trope of the master making his new apprentice do menial, ordinary stuff in the beginning to test his devotion and faith? And what happens after that is that the student gets angry, frustrated, and finally at one point of time he snaps and asks why is he being made to wash the dishes, clean up floors, or do back-breaking work in the farm picking up horse shit, when he should be learning what he's really there for, training with the master and getting a degree in kicking ass. Well, working on changing your mindset may kind of feel the same way at first, like doing the dishes or mopping up the floor, especially if you haven't done this before. Just like the master in the movies, who at one point reveals that doing chores, the unwanted stuff, is an important part of the process in becoming whole, I'm here to tell you that working on your mindset is the most crucial step in the process. If you don't do this, everything fails. First we dream and then it happens. Okay, so when it comes to cultivating the right mindset, you need to start by accepting the fact that AI is here to stay and it's only gonna get better. Unless something drastic happens and we as a society collectively decide to stop the rapid progression of AI, it is going to advance and it is going to eat away a lot of jobs. To overcome this problem, what you need to do is adopt a growth mindset. Having a growth mindset means you believe that your own potential isn't confined by your environment or current circumstances. It means that when you fail, you don't just give up and go do something else or blame someone else for your failing. It means you get up and try again in new and different ways. When you adopt a growth mindset, you no longer tend to feel threatened by changes that are happening around you, nor do you get frustrated or shy away from new challenges. You become more adaptable as a person overall. And it is a fact that it's the ability to embrace change and maintain composure when things don't exactly go as expected is one of the things that separates the winners from the losers. It's survival of the fittest, not the strongest or the smartest, fittest. To cultivate a growth mindset, do these 5 things. Embrace challenges instead of shying away from them. Start taking small risks in your everyday life. View failures as a learning opportunity. Aim to learn something new every day and don't blame others for your failures. Step 2 is not worry about competition. This is especially true if you're an entrepreneur, a solopreneur, or taking your first step into the gig economy. Social conditioning often encourages us to compare ourselves to others and engage in unhealthy competition. We are taught right from our childhood that in order for us to win, someone has to lose. And that's the way the world works. The early bird catches the worm and whatnot. And there is so much wrong with this belief that I don't even know where to begin. A person who grows up believing that life is all about getting ahead of others will often end up sabotaging themselves by engaging in self-doubt and envy. Because that is what happens when you're always focused on what others are doing and you can't match or beat them at it. How many followers do they have? How much money do they make every year? What car do they drive? How many vacations have they been on recently? This is obviously an extremely toxic approach to validating your self-worth. There's this scene in the TV show Louie that I really like, where Louie, played by Louis C.K., gives her daughter a lesson in life. So what happens is the younger daughter complains that Louie gave her sister a Pop-Tart and not her. And she keeps saying that it's not fair, it's not fair.
Maybe but it's so not fair!
If the older sister got one popsicle, she should too. And Louis explains to her that life is not fair. Maybe this time it was her sister's turn to get lucky, and maybe one day she'd get lucky too. And then in the final scene, he says this line.
Listen to me. The only time you look in your neighbor's bowl is to make sure that they have enough.
Wow, that scene is so powerful. So the takeaway. Don't get obsessed with what other people have. You don't know what their story is. What you should do instead is focus on collaboration, because neither life nor business is a zero-sum game. They're positive-sum games. And in a world where AI is finding ways to even replace artists, you better get good at collaborating with others. Here's what I mean. If you're a graphics designer, let's say, and you mostly design logos, as a solo artist, your career is under threat of being taken away by AI because you just have one skill. If you collaborate with a person who knows personal branding inside and out, but is not as great in design as you are, you two can collaborate to offer an all-inclusive consultation and design package. The both of you can then go ahead and make friends with a person who's a coder and a web developer. You can now host a fully functional website with branding on point and something that looks amazing too. The three of you then meet someone who knows copywriting and running ads. You now have a fully functional web design business and a growth marketing agency that could be potentially making hundreds of thousands of dollars every month. See how collaboration works? Alone we go fast, together we go far. The third step you need to take is redefine the meaning of success. At the end of the day, money isn't everything. Whenever I'm thinking about what success means to me, I immediately think of the movie Wild. I promise I'm not gonna spoil it. You can keep watching. Well, I was a teenager when I first watched the movie, and back then the plot didn't make much sense to me. Like, why would this guy leave the comfort of his home, the promise of a great career, and the company of his friends to go out and live in the woods all by himself, foraging for food and living a less than ideal life? But as I got older, it kind of started making sense to me. If you've watched the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Without spoiling the movie, I'm just gonna say this. To create your own meaning in life, you have to define what success means to you. Because what many people don't realize is that success means nothing if we feel miserable in our daily lives and we always have to wear a mask to hide it. And even if they do realize it at some point in their life, it's usually too late by then. That's why it's crucial that you define success on your terms and prioritize goals that are aligned with your values and passions. Because if the future successful, high-flying version of you is highly anxious or always stressed out, then what's the point of success anyway? Society often imposes these narrow definitions of success, such as academic or career achievements, wealth or status. That's obviously not what success is all about. To find out what success means to you, you first have to invest serious time into getting to know yourself. Ask yourself about your philosophy, your beliefs on life. What does work mean to you apart from making money? What makes your life worth living? What gives you meaning or purpose? What does success look like to you? What are the things you like to do and don't like to do? What sparks joy in your eyes? What do you need to live a peaceful, content life? Financially, spiritually, emotionally? What's the one thing you desire the most that you're too afraid to tell other people? Answer these questions. You're allowed to be selfish here as long as you're honest about it. If you're honest with yourself in this step, you might realize that your ambitions and goals mean nothing to you if the only thing you get from it is money. And if you do come to the realization, you don't have to worry about AI anymore, because there are plenty of jobs in the world with stable pay and a secure future. The fourth step is find something meaningful to pursue. There's this quote by Naval Ravikant that I really like. If you want to be the best, find something to do that feels like play to you but work to others. But I have to admit, I don't 100% agree with that. I know where it's coming from, but the thing is, at least in my experience, work is work and play is play. I've tried turning play into work before, and after a point, it started feeling like more work. So I found something else to play with. Do something that feels like play to you, absolutely. Because it's that type of work that will bring meaning into your life and keep you going through the tough times when you inevitably feel like giving up. But at the same time, don't pick something that feels too easy. Because if something is too easy for you, then it's probably too easy for lots of other people. What do I mean by that? That means stay away from doing stuff that either feels too easy or you don't feel like putting enough effort into getting better at it. If you want to become a graphics designer, let's say, invest your time into actually learning how to use Illustrator and Photoshop. If you want to become an animator, learn the fundamentals of After Effects, maybe even dive into Cinema 4D or Blender to create 3D models. If you want to become a copywriter, read more books and learn from the greats. Don't just blindly trust your current skills and expect it to carry you throughout your life. If you want to become a travel filmmaker, stop shooting on your crappy phone and invest in a good camera. Learn cinematography, video editing, color grading, sound design, and so on. You see, none of these things are easy, but there's a lot of depth you can go into and explore to attain a mastery over your craft. Also, if you're going to find a new hobby or skill that you want to get exceptionally good at, find something you can do without needing an extrinsic reward or validation. Sounds kind of counterintuitive, but hear me out. Even though your ultimate goal might be to monetize this hobby and make a business or career out of it, you must first find something that you truly enjoy doing. Otherwise, you're not going to stick with it long enough to see your efforts bear fruit. Money and praise are all good things as they signal that you're on the right path. But with the wrong skill or hobby, later down the road, you might discover that this doesn't really work for you. And number 5 is unarguably the most practical step you need to take right now to protect yourself against AI. When you think of names like Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Gary Vaynerchuk, Elon Musk, Oprah Winfrey, The Rock, your mind automatically associates those names to certain personal traits and accomplishments. Steve Jobs, a visionary and CEO from Silicon Valley, co-founder of Apple. Bill Gates, another visionary and a founder from Silicon Valley who's into charity. Gary Vee, motivational speaker, CEO, promoter of hustle culture. The Rock, the biggest star in the world. Oprah, strong, independent black woman, queen of inspiration and empowerment. Elon Musk, a man-child in his 50s, still trying to be the cool kid on the block. The reason your brain associates those famous people with those characteristics is not only because they're rich and famous, but because they want you to see them that way. Okay, maybe not Elon Musk, but the others for sure. They've been successful in making the world perceive them in that way by having an incredibly strong personal brand. And that's something you must also do if you want to thrive in the future. You must start investing in your personal brand because in the age of AI, your authenticity is your superpower. Gary Vee talks about it, Danko talks about it, Daniel Priestley talks about it, Chris Do from the future talks about it, and now I'm talking about it. A nobody. It's 2024. People are no longer buying products based on brands and price. They are buying into an experience. And to give the customers the experience they crave for, you not only have to be better than others, but you also have to be memorable and preferable. If you want to stay ahead and become irreplaceable, you have to put yourself out there and be known by others. I know it feels scary. I know it's uncomfortable, but it's something that you can work up to by taking small steps at a time. For the first 7 years of my business, I didn't have to put myself out there because the product pretty much sold itself and we did make a lot of money scaling the company. But now we're at a time when you have to prioritize yourself if you want to grow your business or even stand out among other freelancers. Having a personal brand is powerful because it lets you leverage your strengths, weaknesses, and vulnerabilities. It makes people buy your products because they know, like, and trust you. And those people will almost always support you in different ventures. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson can sell whatever he wants today because he's the people's champ. People buy his energy drinks, tequila, skincare products, and other merch because they like The Rock and what he stands for. If you don't know how to get started with building up your personal brand, Don't worry, go into the video description and grab the free cheat sheet. You don't even have to enter your email. Seriously, just take it and answer the questions. When you do, you'll find that it makes all the other points in this video much more easily digestible. I promise that if you answer those questions right, it'll clear up all your doubts and put you on the path of personal branding mastery. And if you like the whole experience, maybe come back here and leave a comment. I don't know. But before I end this video, I'll leave you with a bonus point that's equally important. That is, be a generalist instead of being a specialist. The times when you could just learn one skill and coast through life are gone. Today, you could be the best illustrator in the world and wake up one day to find that you no longer have a job because you've been made redundant. Because this bitch of a tool called Midjourney just made your profession close to being obsolete. The same holds true for writers, motion designers, voiceover artists, etc. Now you must possess multiple skills and be fairly good at all of them. As a generalist, you are in complete control of your own fate. You can see how different subjects or ideas fit together and come up with creative solutions to big problems. You're also a great learner, always picking up new skills to stay ahead of the game. And what makes you so valuable is the fact that unlike machines, you bring a human touch to everything that you do, especially in areas that require creativity, empathy, and critical thinking. Do not go where the path may lead you. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. The mindset of adaptability and curiosity is an asset where AI seems to be the dominant force. That's bringing in many unfavorable changes. The future will not belong to those who go deep and specialize. It will belong to those who go wide, those who stack their skills consistently on top of each other and put their offering in front of the highest paying customers. By combining multiple monetizable skills together, you open the doors to solving seemingly impossible problems and making big money. You become that guy or that girl to whom everyone comes for very specific advice. And that, my friends, is priceless. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.